Namah Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, welcome all devotees. Okay. So I know it's a little late, but still you have all noticed the message. Thank you everybody. So today we will go through siksastakam. So anybody can say what is this siksastakam? Any idea? Yes, Adish, what is siksastakam?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Adish, tell me. What is siksastakam?
Siksastakam is the prayers by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji. There are 8 verses.
So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has composed these prayers. Correct, you are right. So he's composed these prayers and he has wrote it down. It is said Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not write down anything. He was a great Lord himself, Sri Krishna, having appeared as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He displayed his unique knowledge, everything. The Lord is operates Shadaishwarya Purna, Aishwaryasya Samagrasya Viryasya Yashasya Shriya Gnana Vairagyashchaiva. So the Lord is a Lord in whatever incarnation appears and is with full opulence, full beauty, full knowledge, full renunciation, full fame. What are the other two? But what we missed out? Beauty we covered, knowledge, then renunciation, fame. Two more are there. What are the two more? Aishwarya. Aishwarya means wealth, and Virya means strength. So he is full with 6 opulences. So in whichever form, in whichever incarnation the Lord comes, he displays 6 opulences. So there is purpose for every incarnation of the Lord. So Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu purpose is to show us an example how we become a devotee of Krishna. So Krishna himself coming in the form of a devotee and showing us practically how we can become Krishna's devotee. Just like sometimes a teacher in the school, he or she writes on the blackboard A. So the teacher writes A. That doesn't mean that the teacher is learning A, B, C, D, writing A, B, C, D. Teacher knows everything, but for the sake of the student, the teacher shows how to draw that A, how to draw B, how to draw C. So something similar to it. So the Lord also, as a devotee in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, shows us how actually we can become a pure devotee of Krishna. The Lord shows by example, He shows how we can become it. So this is, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this incarnation, uh, in the beginning of his activities, he displayed a lot of, there are many challenges, so many scholars. One instance particularly, we always remember, childhood, one of the pastimes of the Lord. So the Lord was barely 16 years old, I think, that time. Not even, yeah, something like that, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And there was one big scholar, uh, his name was Keshava Kashmiri. So as the name indicates, he was a big scholar from Kashmir. So previously, there were scholars, Sanskrit Pandits, and they used to have some something like a debate competition. And they used to display their learning, their understanding, their vocabulary, their in-depth knowledge, so many things. And there used to be something called championships. Championships means like we have sports championships. So many people do like this today. Previously, it used to be in learning, in knowledge, in display, and all that. So people had that appetite to understand, to appreciate all that. So this one particular Pandit, Kashmiri Pandit, Keshava Kashmir. So he was like a Digvijay. Wherever he goes, he will win. So he had traveled all over India, winning these trophies, championships as a big scholar. So people were afraid of him. Oh, they used to hear, oh, he's coming to our town. The scholars of the town will vanish, because the previous system was, you suppose you have a debate with somebody and you defeat the person. So that person who is defeated will become your student or will become your disciple. That means he'll become your servant in that sense. So then he has to accept his defeat. And yes, he may be a big person, big this one. But now, having been defeated, he's like your dasa, your servant. So there's so many other pandits in whichever town he used to visit. They used to vanish. They knew we cannot face this person. He's too intellectual, too brilliant. So that's such kind of a person, this Keshava Kashmiri, 500 years back. So he happened to come to Mayapur. Mayapur is the place Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took birth, and Navadvip, Navadvip Dham, was a great place of learning about 500 years back. As much like Kashi, Varanasi. Today also we have in Varanasi. What we have? What is the university? Anybody can tell what is it called? Famous university. Adish, you know what is the university name in?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Banaras Hindu University.
Banaras Hindu University. So it's so many university, Hindu university, teaching Sanskrit, teaching so many Upanishads, teaching so many knowledge of Veda scriptures. So it is known as a seat of learning from long time before. Kashi, Varanasi, Banaras. So the same thing with Navadvip also. Navadvip also has a name, had the same name. So this person, when he came to Navadvip, when he's about to come, all the Pandits of Navadvip, many of them vanished. They all left there, some pretext, or we have to go here, some function is there, some invitation is there, something. All. And some of them, they said, why not put this small boy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? That time Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was called Nimai Pandit. Nimai, that is the name of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The name given by his mother, Nimai. So Pandit, so he's a Pandit. As a small boy, he's already having a school and he's teaching students. He's teaching them Sanskrit grammar and all. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they said, okay, let us match this Keshava Kashmiri with Nimai Pandit. And Nimai Pandit, let him first, let us test out what kind of a big scholar this Keshava Kashmiri is. So because their idea was, if suppose Keshava Kashmiri defeats Nimai Pandit, it doesn't matter. They have one more chance. Because anyway, he's a small boy, 16-year-old boy. So then we will see what we can do, whether we can face him or we can run away against some excuse we can find. Otherwise, if he defeats him, suppose the 16-year-old boy defeats him, then it is like, oh, Navadvip Mayapur is so great learning center. Even a 16-year-old boy is able to defeat the Digvijay Pandits of the whole India, Keshava Kashmir. So with that thing, they thought, let us put this Nimai Pandit to face him. So as they were having this understanding, as they were planned like this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu happened to meet this scholar, Nimai Pandit. He happened to meet this Keshava Kashmiri before the day, one day before, where they have to discuss whatever on an open competition on the banks of the Ganges. The previous evening itself, they met. So as they met, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nimai Pandit, he offered his respects. Oh, great scholar, Keshava Kashmiri. So I heard a lot about you, sir. Then introduced himself like that. Then Keshav Kashmiri very proud. Oh, what is this boy? Small boy, 16-year-old boy. So then Keshav Kashmiri and Nimai Pandit, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, please kindly compose some prayers for Mother Ganga, because it was the bank of the Ganga. Navadvip is the bank of the Ganges. So Ganga Devi is there. I want to hear from you. You are such a great scholar. Some glorification of Ma Ganga. So it is said within no time, maybe probably 5 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. This Pandit Keshav Kashmiri, he composed Sanskrit verses, 108 of them. Not one, not two. Sanskrit language is so what it is. It's a refined language, very, very technical language with so many rules of grammar, everything. But he's such a scholar, he composed, not that he is heard from somewhere, some verse is memorized and he's just repeating. No, he composed the verses. Suppose newly somebody has to create something, a poetry, how much time it takes? It is not a 5-minute affair, 10-minute affair, on the spot competition we have and do. No, it takes a long time thinking, rethinking, revising, re-editing, so many things. But this scholar, people used to be there like that previously, just 500 years back. So Keshav Kashmiri, like a wind, he recited the verses on glorification of Mother Ganga. So then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Lord himself. Just after that, he asked him, sir, let me know the 64th verse you've explained. No, let me know the, yeah. So he wanted him to give a commentation on the verses, on 64th verse. He had said 108 verses, 108 stanzas, like we have Bhagavad Gita 700 shlokas, like that he has composed 108 shlokas. So Chaitanya was telling, in that 64th shloka, please let me know what are the merits, what are the faults. That is how they discuss the logic, the philosophy, the discussion, the scholars. What is the good points in it? What is some mistakes in it? So let you comment. Please give a commentation. Please give a commentary. So it was like one kind of insult for that scholar. He said, what is this? I have recited this so fast, and he's a small boy. He is telling me to explain 64th of that. Whether he can remember all these 108 verses and 64th, can he understand? So when he asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how is it you are able to remember 64th verse? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, yes, some people have the memory, have the great power to recite verses, create. Everybody has some ability. So with the Lord's grace, I also have got some ability. I can remember everything. They're called Shruti Dara. Vedas were also called Shruti, wherein they don't have to write it down, previous ages. Guru will speak to the disciple, and disciple will remember for whole life. So Chaitanya said, just like you have been gifted, you are a great scholar, you can compose like a wind. I can also remember. I have got some blessing by the Lord that I can remember everything. I don't forget. So he was like insulted. Anyway, okay, you are so proud. 64th verse you want me to explain, but I have no fault. I am a perfect Pandit. I don't do any mistakes. Mistakes cannot happen from my side. Whatever I do, it is past perfection, 100% perfection. So he's very confident about his whole that verses what he said. The Jain Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then he said, okay, you tell me what you want to say. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, if you don't mind, I want to explain that there are two or four faults on I forget the exact thing. There is a detailed, the description, the discussion itself forms a good section of the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. We can read that literature Chaitanya Charitamrita. I'll try to post that link, exactly those discussion, what happened with it. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that Keshav Kashmiri. So it's a detailed discussion wherein, first of all, only one thing I can remember is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pointed a mistake, which is called, where Keshav Kashmiri said, Bhavani Bharta, because Ganga is held by Lord Shiva as she comes down with great force. We know the story, if you know the story. So Lord Shiva holds Ganga Devi because he also, Lord Shiva, feels purified by Mother Ganga because she is coming from the lotus feet of Mahavishnu. She is the causal ocean. From there, she has entered the material universes. So it is the feet from the feet of the water from the feet of the Lord, spiritual water, not a material water. So Lord Shiva, in connection with Lord Shiva, he was just putting a verse and saying, Lord Shiva was referred to there as Bhavani Bharta. So the whole verse is there, where in connection with Lord Shiva, glorification of Ganga will come. So the word that was used was Bhavani Bharta. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, this usage of the word Bhavani Bharta is redundant. So you cannot use that word, Bhavani. Who is Bhavani? Yes, Radesh, who is Bhavani? Or anybody, any devotees?
Goddess Parvati.
Goddess Parvati, okay. So and Bhavani Bharta means Parvati's husband. So it is referring to Shiva. So what is the fault there? What is the mistake there? Perfectly right, no? Lord Shiva is Parvati's husband only, Bhavani, but who else is the husband of Parvati, Bhavani? But then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pointed out, Bhavani itself means Bhava, Bhava's wife. Bhava is the name of Lord Shiva. So Bhavani means wife of Lord Shiva. And when you use the word Bhavani Bharta, husband of the wife of Lord Shiva. That is, it seems to show as if something like the wife of Lord Shiva has one more husband. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu indirectly, like that means Parvati can share, if it does share another husband, she has one more husband. No. So that is word is it cannot be used like that. Bhavani itself means a wife of Lord Shiva. And you kind of word is create a word called Bhavani Bharta. It is nonsensical. It is not allowed like that. That means if you say Bhavani Pita, that is something. Means wife of Lord Shiva's father. That is something. She has a father definitely. Or she has a mother, that is different. But she has her husband. Bhavan itself is the wife of person Bhava. So how you can say again husband. So this is a wrong usage. So this is one mistake what I can remember now. So like this, that verse had some 3-4 mistakes. Actually, it should not have happened, but it happened. With the Lord's will, it happened from Keshav Kashmiri. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also gave, there are good points about what he has said in the verse. Some particular usages, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu glorified. So this scholar was stuck. He knew he was defeated. A mistake had happened from his side, and a small boy, 16-year-old, has smashed. So he went back, and the whole night he didn't sleep. He was like serious. He was in meditation. His goddess is Saraswati Devi, Mother Saraswati. She is the goddess of learning. So she started continuously praying. How this has happened to me? Such an insult for me. Never it has happened in my life. A small boy, 16-year-old boy, he has defeated me without. My mouth was like finished. My bit, everything is gone. What has happened? How this is? Why you let me down, Mother Saraswati? Why this happened? So he was like. Then she appeared in his this one in the night dream, whatever, or she gave him the darshan. She said, "Whom you are arguing with? This is my Lord Krishna." So you go and take his shelter. So that was how she instructed him. You go surrender to Sri Chaitanya. So till the time he was like, "Who is this person? A small boy has." They have torn me apart. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was like this a big scholar. There are so many instances where then later he discusses with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He was like the big pandit for guru for all the Mayavadi sannyasis. So we have this impersonalists, Shankaracharya followers. So they are very, very into learning Vedic knowledge, Sanskrit, Upanishads, philosophizing, understanding. So this person, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, was a guru for many of those sannyasis of the Mayavada school. Though he was a grihastha, but he was such a scholar. Like he said, like Brahaspati. Brahaspati is the learned scholar, learned spiritual master, Devatas. So he was like that. He was so. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, we have a whole discussion with them. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu convincing him and defeating him. That is later. Similarly, one more instance, Prakash Ananda Saraswati. So like this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had the debates, intellectual people, made them into devotees. He made them. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't go into writing the books, giving all these literatures. That he didn't do. That he gave the work to his chief disciples, Goswamis, and further on in the Purusha Parampara. They have done huge work. So these 8 verses are the only verses which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu penned them now. By his own explaining how we understand our position, our relationship with the Lord, and the method to achieve the Lord. In just 8 verses, the whole philosophy, the whole teaching of the Lord is there. These 8 verses, which were actually penned down. Okay, with this understanding, understand. We'll just run through. We'll finish this 8 verses. So I'll request devotees, volunteers to read. So let us start from top. Anushri Mataji, you would like to read this? The verse, you can read the verse and the verse or translation, both you can read. Or maybe you will not be comfortable with the verse. Somebody is comfortable with reading the verses. This Sanskrit verse.
Which one is the first one?
Yeah, first one. What is it? Okay.
चेतो दर्पणमार्जनं भव भवद्वादिवार्पणं श्रिया चन्द्रिय कल्वित्काकरणं श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनम्.
Hare Krishna. Adish, you know something, but you are missing out. Okay. So I want devotees to read. Okay. Sulochana Mataji, you can read, try this verse. You can unmute yourself, Mataji. Sulochana Mataji. Yeah, sorry, I muted. You can unmute, yeah. Anybody can unmute. It's like, yeah. Sulochana Mataji, you can unmute. Yeah. You can read.
Hare Krishna.
You can just read the verse. It's the first of the siksastakam, first prayer.
Cheto dharpanamarjanam bhavamahadavagni nirvapanam Shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadu jivanam Anandambudivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam.
Thanks, Mataji. You can read the translation also, Mataji.
Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtana movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of the transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtana. From Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtana, all glory. So, what happens when we start chanting the Hare Krishna mantra? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Cheto Darpanam Arjanam. So our heart, mind, we are situated in the region of the heart, the soul. And covering us is the subtle body, the mind. Then the gross body, what we have. So the heart, physical heart, what you can say. Or actually, the mind is also, it's called chitta, covering the soul. It's all situated here, covering the soul. So within this subtle body, with all our desires present, material desires. I want to achieve this. I want to be happy like this. I want to. So we plan so many things. We have karma, krodha, lobha, moha, matsarya. So these are all covering us, our real existence, the soul, from its pure existence, and making it impure. So he's saying here, so marjanam means it will cleanse. So suppose we have a mirror. The mirror, we can see our image, but in the mirror, if you have a dust, we cannot see. So something similar. Now we are not able to see ourselves. That I am soul, I am part and parcel of the Krishna. As Krishna is pure, I am also pure. But presently, we are not in that position. So Chaitanya is telling, you start chanting the Maha Mantra, all the impurities, they are like the dust covering the mirror of the heart, will be cleansed. Then we will come to recognize, understand, yes, I am not this body. Because just to understand this, that I am not this body, it is somehow doesn't strike us. Though it is obvious, it has to be obvious, but the way we are conditioned with the life in this material world, we are forcefully identifying ourselves with this body. So we find so much, nationalism. Russia, we are Russians. We are Ukrainians, so we want to fight. So it is like this goes on always. This nobody is Indian, nobody is Russian, nobody is Ukrainian, nobody is American. But all of us have this false understanding. So based on that, so much our time, our energy, our life, everything is wasted. So it's not easy to get this understanding. But somebody starts chanting Hare Krishna mantra. This very clearly, very easily will understand that I have nothing to do with this so-called this country, this state, that state, this form of body, that form of body. So very clearly one understands I'm not this body, I'm different. So that's how we have devotees. So there are devotees we have in Ukraine also, there are devotees in Russia also. They're friends. As devotees, they're friends everywhere. But otherwise, devotees, people are, this is my country, this is your country, this is mine, this is yours, this goes on. It's very difficult to, we cannot blame them because without understanding the soul, naturally everybody will think like that. A dog of the, here, our temple nearby, we have so many dogs. So some of the dog comes from next locality, they just go jumping, howling, ready to bite the other people. So that is how the dog, conception of dog. Similarly, the same thing extends. As the body identification grows, it extends. Humanity, it extends. It's a very ignorant condition of ourselves, wherein we identify with this body. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, no, just by chanting this Mahamantra, very soon this misunderstanding will be cleared. So the full self-realization, of course, being situated in the perfect stage, there is no more coming back. That we have to do tapasya, we have to continue this process. But at least just the first understanding, the conviction, yes, I am not this body. Yes, what Krishna is telling in the Bhagavad Gita is 100% true. So we can accept this immediately as we chant this Mahamantra. This understanding, this knowledge becomes clear. So, because our heart becomes purified of this base impurities. Cheto darpana marjanam. Bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam. Bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam means this whole life in the material world is like a huge fire. Mahadavagni, forest fire. So we have fire in the forest, huge fires. In a city or in any building, anything happens, we have some fire extinguishers, we have fire engines that can come down, dang, 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 they'll come and they'll put it out. Within half an hour, 1 hour, it is done. Maybe some people died or some casualties, some loss of life, some damage, so many things must maybe there, but it is can be controlled. But what this fire in the forest, who can solve it? Can we send, okay, 100 fire engines, 1,000 fire engines, can they go and take out the fire in the forest? It is said nothing can. It is like such a huge fire when it happens, the forest fire. They have to wait for it to naturally die down. Some way it has to happen. Particularly, it is said, if suppose the rains come from the skies, the clouds, then automatically this will all be extinguished. That's similarly we pray to the spiritual master also. Samsara davanara leader loka tranaya karunya ganaganatvam praptasya kalyana gunarnavasya vande guroshi charanara. So there also the prayer to the spiritual master, that is also they said, like he pours the rains of mercy. Similarly, this chanting of Mahamantra, it is said, Bhava Mahadavagni, this conditional life, the Adhyatmika, so many miseries we are having. Miseries pertaining to our own body, personal misery pertaining to our mind, miseries given by other living entities, miseries given by the nature, one or the other. Something will be there. We are not exempt. Today this problem is not there, some other problem is there. Then tomorrow some other problem. So it is life of problems. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam, Krishna says. It's a miserable place full of, temporary place full of miseries. That is the certification by the law. Just like you buy a refrigerator. So the refrigerator is a Samsung, some other company. So you'll see what is the warranty, how many years the compressors. Okay, they say 10 years guarantee for the compressor. And then we have some certification. Up to 21 years, nothing will happen. We have this certification, something like Okay, you see, like, suppose some company doesn't want to give that, and they say, we don't know, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, anything. So what will you do? It is like, so everything you want a guarantee, you want a warranty. Material world, Krishna himself, the creator, he gives us the warranty, guarantee. Okay. This is a place of misery, place of suffering, dukkhalaya, dukkhalaya. Just like we say, aushadalaya, where you get medicine, vidyalaya, where you learn education. Then the like that, alaya means a place. So for Krishna in the Gita says, this is dukkhalaya, place wherein misery, suffering, dukkha is given, gifted. So there is no way. But when we start chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, the Lord says, yes, we will be out of this miseries, what we otherwise have to experience in this material world. Chetodarpanamarjanam bhavamahadavagni nirvapanam, which extinguishes the fire of conditional life. Condition, our life is full of condition. There are no independence. It's not independent life conditions. And the body will give pain, the mind will give some depression. It's a condition. It's called conditioned life of repeated birth and death. So bhava basically means repetition of the same old thing. We have to die, we have to take birth, we have to die. If we die as a cat, we die, then we take birth as a dog. We die as a dog, we take birth as a bear. We die as a bear, we take birth as a tiger. So this is going on. Same thing is going on and on and on and on. 84 lakh species over and over and over again. So, but it is said here, if we chant the Maha Mantra, we will be taken out from this fire of conditional life. Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitharanam Vidyavadu Jivanam. This Sankirtan moment is a prime benediction for humanity at large. So there are so many philanthropic words, so many ways people think. This way I will help the society, that way I will help the. So many people make plans, planning commissions, so many things, and they think that this is the best way, this is the method. So I help my community, I help my society, I help the complete humankind. United Nations will stop all war. Then animal rights, they want to do something good for them. So everybody feels some particular way how we can help. Some food problem, how we can end. Somebody says, let us improve education. So we will, this humanitarian activities will be very nice. Somebody says, we'll open a lot of hospitals, free education, free medical facility. That is a great benefit we can do. So people feel for it. So many people, and they try to do. But nothing as glorious, as great as the this chanting of the Maha Mantra, propagation of this chanting of the Maha Mantra. Harer Nama, Iva Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva, Gatiramita. So this Maha Mantra, chanting of the Maha Mantra, this Sankirtana movement, this is actually the prime benediction. So it solves the problems for all at all levels. So individually, socially, at family level, at national, international, every level for and everybody is solved. So that's why it is said here, it is a prime benediction, it is a prime blessing of humanity at last. Because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. So figuratively, it is said, just like hot season, we are sort of the whole day, in the rainy summer's time, we experience people living in hot places. Oh, it's so difficult. But then at least when the night comes, the cooling effect of the moon, that gives some kind of a relief of. Otherwise, next day again, the morning will start and the sun will rise up 45 degree, 46 degree. Some people die of sunstroke like that. But nighttime, the effect, the cooling is so nice. So it is like that it is said. In this material world, we are in the place of misery, place of suffering. This Sankirtana, this chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra is actually relieving us of all this unwanted things, which is not needed, which is not necessary for the living entities, as a part and parcel of the Lord, as a servant of the Lord, as a dear children of the Lord. So why we have to be in this midst of all this suffering, miseries? What is the need? There is no need. Somebody, the father is very rich. Why these children are in the roads or in the streets as beggars, orphans roaming around? What is the need? So Krishna, the Supreme Lord, so God is the father of everybody, is supreme well-wisher. So why we are suffering? Why we are lost? So that's why it is said here. It is a this prime benediction to revive our lost connection with the Lord. It spreads the rays of the benediction. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. So automatically, as one practices this chanting of the Mahamantra, he gets real knowledge, clear understanding. Who am I? Who I am? What is this world? What is who is the Lord? What is my relationship with the Lord? What is the relationship with my nature? What is the relationship with my fellow beings? Everything will become very, very clear. It's transcendental knowledge, the life of all transcendental knowledge. It's not that, okay, I will research, I will find out, I will become a big scientist, I will become a big philosopher, I will understand. No, you cannot understand. You cannot understand the Lord. We are very, very teeny. So we have to submit to the process given by the Lord in the mode of surrender, in the mode of prayer, in the mode of the Lord reveals this knowledge to us. That's why it is a life of all transcendental knowledge. The real knowledge begins. Otherwise, so much confusion is there. So many people speak so many ways, so many things. So which one to accept? So somebody says only human beings have soul. Somebody says I don't believe in soul. There's nothing called soul. So many religionists, so many philosophers, so many thinkers have their own opinion, their own understanding. Somebody says God is there. Somebody says God is not there. Somebody says God has a form. Somebody says God has no form. So many kind of theories, confusions, everything. But as one practices this bona fide authorized process of prayer to the Lord, of worship of the Lord, it is said all the necessary knowledge will become revealed and one becomes fixed. It's the life of all transcendental knowledge, the real knowledge, real knowledge. We will actually have it, but today it is under ignorance, covered up. You're not able to see the reality. Automatically, as we practice this chanting of the Mahamantra, that itself gives us the actual understanding, real understanding. Who am I? Who is the Lord? What is the living entities? What is this nature? What are the interrelationships? What is the purpose of my life? Everything will become revealed. That's what it is said here. Is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss. Not only it gives us real knowledge, it relieves us from all the unwanted miseries of this material world, gives us a purpose in life. It also purifies our existence and also gives us the happiness which we are all actually anchoring on. The whole purpose of life, whole purpose of our creation, the Lord has done. It is said, Anandamayo Abhyasa. The Lord is full of unlimited enjoyment. And we are also, being part of Him, are supposed to be part of that enjoyment. So that's what it said here. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss. So as we purify our existence, as we establish our connection with the Lord, as we increase the knowledge about the Lord, that happiness what we get there, in touch with the Lord, it keeps on increasing. So we don't find any increase. They said it's compared to an ocean. We have this ocean here, Pacific Ocean or Indian Ocean or Atlantic Ocean, whatever, Arctic Ocean, different oceans, but we don't hear that they are increasing in size. No, they are what they are. But it is said for a devotee, somebody who is in the spiritual path, who has taken up the process of purification, his happiness goes on increasing unlimitedly. Anandambudi Vardhanam. Ananda Ambudi. Ambudi means ocean. Ananda means happiness. Vardhana means goes on increasing. So the devotee of the Lord, in touch with the Lord, as it increases, as it develops his devotion to the Lord, it goes on increasing. So today we are dissatisfied, we are frustrated. Every way, so many ways we are frustrated. We are seeking new things, seeking new relationships, seeking new way of life, seeking solution every way. Materially, so long we are situated in the bodily concept of life, this is a enjoyment on the sensual platform, sensual happiness. So this is a very low grade happiness. But when we understand we are not the senses, little higher is mental platform. People start thinking I'm different, I'm little higher than just this gross body. So that's how thinkers, they all are on the mental platform. They start understanding, they start philosophizing. But then little more they come to intellectual platform, more clear about the existence apart from the body. But when actually somebody raises to the spiritual platform, and in the spiritual platform understands I'm the Atma, and I have an intimate relationship with the Paramatma, the Supreme Lord, God, I have an intimate relationship, and executes that relative duty of service to the Lord, then only the real happiness, the full bound happiness, what we are hearing here, which goes on increasing, that is experienced. So once we experience that higher happiness, there is no lower happiness. Otherwise, we are always running after some happiness. Well, let me watch what is happening, some TV, or what is happening, that news. So the latest, what is the uh, news about this war? So many kinds we have a happiness, and hearing the news about this world, hearing some stories about some heroes, some films, so many different ways, or some sport, so many ways we create objects of enjoyment to enjoy. But it is said the real unlimited joy is in our connection with the Lord, is in our relationship with the Lord. So this will give us that. This chanting of the Maha Mantra, this will give us that. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. So it is like full. Suppose you have you are very hungry, and I'm very hungry. Suppose, and you invite me, I come to your house, and you feed me nicely. Okay, you need puri. Okay, fine. 10 puri, fine. Okay, 4 puris, then some 3-4 varieties of sabji. Then you give me pulao. Then you give me some raita. Then you give me some fries, some papad, then some sweets, 2-3 varieties, some juices, all different varieties of nice food you give me. Suppose I also have an appetite, I eat, and after all that, you tell me, do you want anything more? I will say, please leave me, I'm fully satisfied. Bodily, that so many huge, big feast we have. So something like that, as we practice the spiritual life on the spiritual platform, the real happiness, we will be fully satisfied. Fully satisfied. Otherwise, material platform, unless we raise up the spiritual platform with authorized practice of the spiritual life as given here. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us this Maha Mantra. It is there in various scriptures, but he brought it out. Brought it out in the sense everybody should take to this. Otherwise, few people here and there were practicing. It was not widely followed in the society. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission is to bring out, and then they make everybody to accept this path. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu predicted 500 years back. There is a literature there in the same book. He said, Prithvi te ache yatanagara sarvatra prachar hoibe moranama. That's in Bengali. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Prithvi means all over the world. All over the world, yatanagara as many towns, as many villages are there. Sarvatra prachar hoibe moranama. So everywhere, these names, what I am chanting, what I am Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to go anywhere, people used to seeing him, they used to also chant Krishna Nama. We have to tell to people, please kindly join us. We are chanting this mantra. You also repeat with them. But we said, a Mahabhagavata, a devotee in a very advanced stage. So seeing him, people will automatically, they will remember Krishna, they will chant his names. So they will feel attracted to chant. So there was also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as he was passing, he came to South India. Then the whole Dakshina Bharata. So they all became devotees. So it is said wherever he was going, people were getting attracted to him, seeing him chanting the Lord's names, and they used to join him. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to encourage them to chant loudly the Lord's names, which is the Yuga Dharma, the process of Kali Yuga. So we do softly the japa, and we do together in group, which is Kirtana, and which a lot of people together we chant. So like you'll see in Ratha Yatra or any public festival we have, a lot of people join together and everybody chants the Lord's names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So this process, this method of congregational chanting of the Lord's holy names. So as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced, the Bhagavatam says, this is the method of worship of the Lord in this present time. Where people will get together and chant the Lord's names together. So the Lord has many names. So today I think I'm slow. Maybe tomorrow I should be a little more faster. So with 8 verses, maybe we finish it. One by one we finish it. Today maybe one more at least I should finish. 7 to 8, that will be better. Just stick to the time. That's always everybody convenient. What should I do? Should I stop this and we have a discussion at this stage, or to take up one more verse? It's 8 verses basically.
One more sloka.
One more sloka we take up, Mataji. Okay. Maybe we explain. Let us see. We can do tomorrow also. Can you chant, Mataji? Second one. Yeah.
Yes, sir. नाम्नामकारि बहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिस् तत्रार्पिता नियमित स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमीदृशमिहा जनिनानुरागः.
Yes, Mati, translation also you can read.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
Yes, so very nice. So the Lord is saying, you have many names. Yes, one way it is said, we get our name, our father and mother will give us the name. So who can give the Lord the name? So his name is a different way, by his different qualities, by his different pastimes. His names are there, transcendental names. They're not ordinary names. The Lord's, everything of him is transcendental, spiritual. So here it is said, my Lord, you have many names. Just like different scriptures give the Lord different names. So it indicates the Lord. And I think uh, they call Jehovah the most anointed one. Like the different names are there. Most powerful person, or Allah, the most powerful one. So this all refers to names of the Lord only. It is not referring to somebody else. So similarly, in our Vedic scriptures, there are so many names of the Lord: Krishna, Rama, Govinda, Narasimha, Varaha. So depending on the pastime the Lord did, or explaining his particular quality, the names of the Lord are revealed in the scriptures. So here it is said, the Lord has many names, and by this practice of remembering the Lord by chanting his names, we can achieve the mercy of the Lord. Yes, the Lord is so kind. He has already given all the power, all his power. So Lord power is unlimited. He's a top supreme person, most powerful person. It is said his name also has all those things. It is not that the name of the Lord is less powerful than the Lord. No, the Lord and the Lord's name are being non-dual, being absolute. Abhinnatvat namo naminaha. For us, there is a difference. The name is indicative of us, just for our identification, just for the means of communication. Everybody is given a name, and we go on with our life. But God, it is not. There is not a question of duality. So his personality and his name is identical. So that is what is called non-dual, absolute nature of the Lord. Abhinnatvat namo naminaha. Just like so, the name of the Lord is the Lord himself. It is not that the name is different, indicative of a person, and the person is different. Like water, I want to drink water. I'm feeling very thirsty. So you will give me some water, the substance water. When I drink that, oh, I feel very grateful. All my thirst is gone. I feel great relief. But if I start telling water, pani, whichever language I start shouting, howling, everything, nothing will happen. Or you start arrange something to speak, compose a poetry about water, nothing will happen. The word is different, the substance is different. This is duality. But for the Lord, there is no duality. So his name, himself, his form, his qualities, his pastimes, everything is absolute. Everything is his person. Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddho Nityamukto Abhinnatvat Namo Naminaha. So it is said, the Lord is non-different from his names, and he's put all his potencies, whatever the Lord's potencies are there, unlimited potencies, they're all there in his body names. That's how anybody takes up this chanting, whether this Nama names as revealed in the Vedic scriptures or other names, even the other scriptures names, it should be the indicative of the Lord. Then it is said, definitely, whatever we are hearing, the first verse, the purification, the change of the heart, the extinguishing of all the material miseries, the getting transcendental knowledge, feeling spiritual bliss, everything will happen. Because all those potencies are there in the names of the Lord. Nam Nam Akari Bauda Nija Sarva Shaktis. Krishna, my Lord, you have given complete all your strength, your blessing, your mercy, everything in your holy name. And to chant those names, there are no exact time schedule to be done. It has to be chanted only in the mornings. It has to be chanted only after taking bath. Okay, it has to be chanted only by some very great learned persons, priestly persons. No, anybody, any place, any time can chant this names of the Lord. The Lord is so kind. He has made this process so easy. Tatrarpita niyamita smaranena kalaha. But still, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, my position is I'm so unfortunate. I have no taste for chant. So it happens. Sometimes we don't feel like, we know every day we have to chant. We have taken a commitment. Wow, before the Guru, before Vaishnavas, before the Lord. We chant 16 rounds of the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But we see sometimes the mind is so much disturbed, so much. We don't feel like you're chanting Mahamantra. No, it's not possible. Let me chant later. Or we find interest in something else. So much other things attract us. So simple process given. Just we have to use our tongue and use our ears. It is given by the Lord only. We didn't create this. No scientist has created this. So we use this implements to chant the Lord's name here. But here the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling, in our present conditioned life, it is very difficult to chant. There's same thing, repeating. Mind is not allowing. So he's telling, I don't have a taste for this chant. Yatadrishi, my Lord, you are so merciful, but I'm unfortunate, but somehow I don't have the attraction to chant your names. Yes. Durdayam idrisham ihajani nan. We'll continue tomorrow. So, devotees have anything, any question, any clarification, any discussion? Was it understandable? Yeah, I was. Hare Krishna, Vidur Boro, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Should I go slow or anything? Explanation. Vidur Boro, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Okay, Harshali Mataji, you were asking any WhatsApp co-host. If you're free, you can join Mataji. Otherwise, I'll manage because now Prabhuji told that you can have this 7 o'clock for quite some time because next batch is due for after some time. So I'll discuss with them and what I can do, at least Monday to Friday. Saturday, Sunday, I think all the devotees will be joining the second level course. So any difficulty, you can let us know. That also will try to help you out. So otherwise, the same Gita, the second level, we will be doing in 18 weeks. Very nicely it is done. So we'll be encouraged to make a more deeper study of the Bhagavad Gita. And I hope everybody is now into chanting at least one round. So who is chanting 16 rounds here? Anybody chanting already 16 rounds? Okay, Sulochana Mataji, Hare Krishna. So you're already chanting 16 rounds, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
24, Prabhuji, 24 rounds.
How long, Mataji?
For the past 1 year.
1 year already. Oh, okay, Mataji. So you have been associated and doing because by the way you are chanting, you know perfectly now. Yeah. Verses. Even
Since the ISKCON class started, since then I'm there.
You're there, Mataji.
Online class when it started, I'm there.
There. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
You wanted to add anything, Mataji? The first 2 verses? Any explanations I missed out?
Yes, Prabhu.
Anything I missed out? You want to add, Mataji? The first 2 verses.
No, sir. Perfect. The explanation is wonderful.
Yes, Mataji. So we'll see, Mataji. Then tomorrow we'll continue the rest of it.
So you'll continue this every day?
Finish this 6 verses. Prabhuji told me to have maybe otherwise I may request, I can even request Aishwarya Mataji sometime to take up. She also used to take up 7 o'clock class previously. But I think morning nowadays she's taking the Bhagavatam morning. So
okay.
I'll find out. So one of us, we can come, I think. And there is a class by Shisha Prabhu. What time is that, Mataji?